Choosing the right lens for your camera can be difficult because there's a plethora of lenses that are available. But choosing the right lens within your budget makes you start looking at lenses a little bit different. This is part of the reason why I like the SIRUI imaging lenses, specifically the SIRUI Nightwalker. Let's talk about it. Budget lenses have always been a thing for photographers or even cinematographers, and that's because you want to be able to create the best image for a price that is within your budget. Now, SIRUI has introduced a lens set which comes in 24, 35, and 50, and currently they have two new lenses that are coming out. I believe it's a 16 and a 75 millimeter to add to your set. When it originally came out, it started up on an Indiegogo for about $300, but you can get them on market for about $350. Now, these lenses are budget friendly, but they do have good character, and that's what I want to talk about. The build quality of these lenses are very good. It's solid, it's all metal, it's actually very small, and it fits in the palm of your hand. But the great thing about the set is that it's the same size all throughout. So whether you have a 24, 35, or 50, everything lines up perfectly, and it has a 67 millimeter thread. So if you have an ND filter or any other type of filter that you want to swap out, you can easily do so. So you don't have to worry about finding different pieces when you're on set to make production a little bit harder for you. These lenses have a certain build to it, which makes the T-stop and the focus throw close to each other. So when doing that, you might want to be careful pulling focus, because you just might be able to touch your aperture and then throw things off. So this is the reason why I feel like having a focus pull is actually better for these lenses, especially if you have it rigged up. As an example, this is my rig. I have a focus pull that's on it because it's very tight. So it's a lot easier to actually pull focus this way. And the best thing that I found about these lenses is that it comes in two different colors as well, a silver and a black. Me personally, I started off with the 35 and I purchased it in black, but I like the way the silver looks, so the remaining set I purchased in silver. So it has a nice feel to it and it gives a little look, especially when you're holding on to it. With that being said, let's talk about the colors. The colors that this lens produces are very good, especially if you use it wide open. It reproduces a great image, and especially the 24, which is one of my favorite lenses. The 24 millimeter is good enough for a wide establishing shot, but because it's a crop sensor lens, it actually punches in and becomes a more environmental shot, which gives you more of the scene so that you can actually see what's going on. So you have the best of both worlds. It can be wide enough to be an establishing shot, but also be close enough to give you a scene so you can see a deeper look into what's happening and you don't have to be confused. Now, the 55 punches in a little bit closer, but I'm not going to deep dive into that one. I want to focus on the 24 because that's one of my favorite lenses. Taking this out, it's close enough to actually get focus on certain details if you want, and also you can pull focus to get back an establishing shot. And that's one of the best things that I like about the 24 millimeter lens, especially if you're using it handheld. It's a great budget lens. Many people look at lenses and say, I really don't think I can use this for multiple purposes. But with the 24 millimeter, I found that it's the best of both worlds, especially if you're attaching it onto your camera. Of course, there are some cons to it. Now, the one con, and I really don't want to say that it's a con, and I spoke about it earlier, is the fact that the aperture and the focus throw is a little bit closer, but it does have flaring. Now, this, of course, is up to you. It can be a stylistic choice for you if you want, or it can be a pain in your butt. Me personally, I like it because it brings a little bit of character to the lens, especially if you're shooting wide open. You don't get to see that much chromatic aberration. It's something that you can actually deal with. But if you are looking for a clinically sharp lens, this is probably not the best one for you. But as a budget lens, it gives you a great image. Now, chromatic aberration is something that we all see, especially if you're shooting wide open into bright light. With this lens, it handles it very good. So I don't think it's that much of a con, but it's there, so I think it should be noted. Who is this lens for? This lens is personally for those photographers or cinematographers who are looking to get a cine lens but don't know exactly what they want. And I say that because there are so many lenses that cost upwards of $5,000, $6,000, and you might not have the budget for it. But with this set, the 24, the 35, and the 50, you're pretty much good to go because it's cropped. The 24 is actually equivalent to about a 35, depending on the crop that you have for your camera. The 50 is about a 75, 77, and then you have the 35, which is also like a 50. So it actually works out in your benefit. So if you're looking for something on a budget that can produce a great image, the SIRUI lenses are a great way to go. I've tried it out. I like the way it looks. I like the imaging. And of course, if you like something that you're going to hold on to for a while, you're going to make sure that you get the best out of it. So with these lenses, I think it's something that you should hold on to. Is it worth a buy? Is it worth even looking at to purchase one? I'd say yes. I personally recommend buying this set, and not only because it's at a budget, but because of the image that it produces. You know, if you're looking for a great character lens and something that will fit your pockets and fit your camera nicely without being bulky or have to worry about not leveling your camera if you're putting it on a gimbal, these lenses are the best way to go. Like I said, I like it on my rig when I'm walking handheld with it. It does every job that I need it to do. So in the comments, you guys let me know if you use a SIRUI imaging lens. Which one do you prefer? I prefer the 24, like I said. They have a 24, 35, and a 50. And also, if you use a budget lens, which ones do you use? Okay, drop a comment. Let me know what you use. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.